For almost a century, the Oscars told the world a story about talent, about art, about the best performances humanity could produce. Actors believed it, directors chased it, audiences trusted it, because the Oscars were supposed to answer one question: who was the best? But something changed, quietly, silently, without anyone announcing it. The Oscars stopped rewarding talent and started rewarding something else, something calculated, something predicted, something engineered. Because behind the scenes of Hollywood, a different system is now running. Not critics, not voters, not artists, algorithms. And once you understand how this system works, you realize something disturbing. The Oscars may already know the winners before the movies are even released. For generations, Hollywood sold a dream. If you were talented enough, if you worked hard enough, if your performance moved people, you could win the most prestigious award in cinema. Actors train their entire lives for this moment. They sacrifice years of auditions, financial instability, personal relationships, mental health, all for one possibility. One stage, one golden statue, the Academy Award. Because that statue doesn't just represent a trophy, it represents validation, proof that the world saw something real in your work. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The Oscars have never been purely about talent. Campaigns, studios, politics, influence, all of it always existed in the background. But what is happening now is something entirely different. Because Hollywood is no longer just influenced by power. It's now influenced by data. Hollywood today runs on prediction systems. Streaming platforms collect enormous amounts of behavioral data. What you watch, how long you watch, when you pause, when you quit, which actors keep you watching, which story structures increase completion, which emotional beats trigger reactions. Millions of viewers, billions of data points, all feeding into one goal, predicting audience behavior. And once studios realized something, everything changed. They realized something terrifyingly simple. If you can predict what audiences will love, you can predict what awards voters will reward. Because voters are humans too, and humans follow patterns. Emotional patterns, cultural patterns, narrative patterns, and those patterns are now being modeled by machines. Modern studios use predictive modeling tools to evaluate projects, not just scripts, entire award strategies. Before a film is even produced, studios simulate audience emotional response curves, social media engagement likelihood, critical sentiment probability, cultural controversy potential, streaming replay value. These models can estimate something remarkable, award probability, not as a guarantee, but as a statistical outcome. Imagine this scenario. A studio analyzes two films. Film A, deeply artistic, experimental performance, but unpredictable. Film B, a narrative structure historically favored by Academy voters, themes of redemption, social relevance, emotional climax, historical prestige. When the model runs the simulation, Film B shows a 4x higher probability of winning awards. So what happens? Funding follows the prediction, marketing follows the prediction, campaign strategies follow the prediction. The system begins shaping reality before the audience ever sees the movie. And slowly, something subtle begins to happen. Movies start feeling similar. Certain types of performances appear again and again. The suffering transformation role, the emotional trauma narrative, the historical biopic, the dramatic monologue scene. Why? Because data shows these elements increase award probability. The system learns. Then the industry adapts. Actors begin selecting roles that fit award patterns. Directors adjust storytelling structures. Studios design entire campaigns around predictive models. Eventually, the machine is no longer predicting the Oscars, it's shaping them. Because when enough decisions follow prediction models, prediction becomes self-fulfilling. The algorithm doesn't just guess the winner, it quietly creates the conditions that produce the winner. But the most disturbing part isn't the studios, it's the audience. Because audiences believe they are reacting naturally. They believe they are feeling genuine emotion. But their attention, their reactions, their preferences are all part of the same feedback system. Every view, every stream, every trending topic, every online reaction feeds back into the prediction machine, which means something unsettling. The Oscars are no longer simply judging art. They are measuring the success of a system designed to guide your emotions. You believe you are choosing your favorite performance, but the system may have already predicted that choice years earlier. AI is already used in Hollywood to predict box office, optimize scripts, analyze audience behavior, recommend casting, simulate audience reactions. Award prediction models already exist in the industry. What's new is the scale and the quiet integration into decision-making. No public announcement, no dramatic takeover, just slow integration, prediction after prediction, decision after decision, until eventually, the system becomes invisible. And that leaves one final question. If a machine can predict the emotional reaction of millions, if it can model the behavior of critics, if it can simulate the probability of awards, then the Oscars may no longer be about recognizing the best performance. They may simply be recognizing the most optimized one, not the most human, not the most artistic, but the one the system knew would work, which means the most prestigious award in cinema may now be measuring something very different. Not talent, but predictability. And the uncomfortable truth is, the system might already know the next winners. Long before the cameras start rolling, the Oscars were supposed to celebrate human brilliance. But in the age of prediction, even talent can become just another variable. If you think Hollywood is still about talent, you're not paying attention. Follow Just Do AI, because the systems shaping the world are already running.